I'm Shahar Azani, and welcome to this episode of Eye on Israel. Today, sharing the inspirational story of the Jordan River Village. In 1988, Paul Newman founded a camp for children living with serious illnesses, hole-in-the-wall gang camp, he called it. He believed it was unfair for children who spend their lives in and out of hospitals not to have a chance to enjoy a carefree childhood like their healthy peers. The Israeli village was officially opened in June of 2012. Since the village opened, it has served and brightened the lives of thousands of campers from different backgrounds in Israel, and all for free. Shalom Ashkenazi, member of Kibbutz Lavi for the past 25 years, is a seasoned professional with a diverse management and philanthropic background. As of January 2023, he assumed the position of CEO at the Jordan River Village. Shalom, thank you so much for joining us here at JBS Studios in Times Square.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure. Tell us a little bit about the story behind the establishment of the village, which was opened in 2012.
Yes, in around 2000, Marilyn and Maury Grant, American couple from Florida, joined to one of the banquets of Paul Newman Association, they call Serious Fun Children Network. And they asked him to establish a camp in Israel. He agreed to help them, and they called Chaim Topol, the latest actor, and they asked him, they told him, we have a dream, but we don't have connection when we don't have the money. So Chaim Topol helped them to make the dream true. And it took them more than 12 years to raise over 130 million shekel, wow. That it's equal to around $30 million. And in June 2012, we had a great ceremony, the great opening. By the way, so some sad story. Marilyn and Maury Grant came to the ceremony, and the same night they flew back to Florida, and Maury Grant passed away on the flight back. It's like he fulfilled his mission, and he could rest.
Couldn't leave before this was done.
Couldn't leave.
You know, you mentioned the late Chaim Topol, the Israeli actor who passed away recently. He was very much connected to the village, wasn't he?
Yes, Chaim Topol at the village from day one. He used to come every session. Every session he used to come to hang out with the kids, with the campers, with the counselors. After he finished his visit in the camp, he used to sit for 30 minutes in the car crying and drive back to Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv, it's far like an hour and 30 minutes from the camp. So every week he did this way, hour and a half each side, to visit the kids, to give them an inspiration. He was very active in the camp with raising money, with the social activities, with everything.
Where is the camp located in Israel?
The camp located in next to Golani Junction, between Golani Junction and Tiberias. It's like 10 minutes from Tiberias, at the hill next to the settlement called Givat Avni.
So you're saying it's about an hour and a half, so 3 hours.
Hour and a half from Tel Aviv.
3 hours back and forth. I want to ask you, first of all, before we dive into the activities and the nature of the work itself at the camp, what brought you, Shalom Ashkenazi, to be part of the village?
So I born and raised in Yerushalayim, one of 7 siblings. I joined Kibbutz Lavi in 1997 after I got married with my wife. My wife is a 3rd generation at the kibbutz.
Right. Her name?
Her name is Liat.
Liat.
Together we have 7 kids.
Oh wow! You're following the family tradition?
Yes, following the family tradition. We have 2 sets of twins. My oldest twins are 23 and my youngest baby are 9 years old.
Wow.
For most of my life I worked for the private market. I worked with the furniture factory. I was a sales and marketing manager. And then for the past 6 years I work as the CEO of the Kibbutz Lavi Hotel. And I decided that I want to do something for my soul. 6.5 years ago I donated my kidney for a person I didn't know before. Now we are very close friends, but I didn't know him before because I wanted to do something good for my soul, not for my pocket. I told my kids that I want to write on my grave after 120, Abba did something good for the Jewish nation and not make a lot of money for his pocket.
Right.
So that's why I make this
and that's not the only community involvement that you've had, right? For a few years you were also a shaliach, an emissary.
Yes, in 2007 my wife and myself with 4 kids we moved to Los Angeles. We met a very nice public affairs consul general named Shahar Azani.
Right. Many years ago.
Many years ago. We had, I think we had a huge impact on the Jewish community.
Yes, you had. Vividly remember.
It's a very strong community.
Right.
We are proud to be part of this community. Actually, I'm here in the state for raising money, but not only, but yesterday I joined for a wedding of one of my campers from the community.
Wow. That's incredible because
Yes.
you left a real impression as someone who, even though you had positions like you describe in the private sector, you've always been a community guy. You've always been very involved in the people and the community around you.
I love people. I love to help people. That's natural for me, and I'm doing my best. Life is short.
Life is short. So a couple of birds whispered that you're not the only one involved with the village, that your wife might have something to do with it as well.
Yes, after we came back from Shlichut, my wife looked for a job and she applied to be the first social worker for the Jordan River village.
The first social worker.
She was the very first one, very first social worker. She worked there for 4 years. And that's how I introduced to the village. We spent many Shabbatot over there as my wife was a duty manager. In past October, my wife called me and said there is an open position. The Jordan River Village look for a new CEO if you want to apply. And I decided that that's the time to change route in my life.
To change from the private sector again, going back officially now, properly.
Officially,
within
yes.
within the NGO.
And
the
I hope for good.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure having somebody like you at the helm. What made you make that transition?
You know, people ask me why you downgrade your position, why you downgrade your salary. So first of all, I don't think I downgrade my position.
Right.
I think I much upgrade my position. We had an article in the newspaper in Israel, and he asked me last week, what is your headline for the article? I told him, please write that I walk in paradise with people that are like angels. To go every day to paradise, to walk with angels, to walk with kids. We don't call them special needs. We call them special kids with special needs. With special kids, to see how they enjoy the life, how they make a progress during their staying at the village. It's fulfill me and give me a lot of joy, much more than any salary that I would get in the private sector.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about the village itself. Tell us about the children there. Who is there?
The village is built on 61 acres with an adventure park, with a theater, with swimming pool, with a gymnasium, with a dining room, huge dining room. We have art and craft. We have a medical center. We have special medical center that we bring doctors according to the disease that visit at the village. Each week we have a different session with different disease. For example, last week we have Rett syndrome. It's a syndrome for mainly girls that develop regular till they get 4 age old. And when they become 4 or 5, they stop develop with the brain and they just develop with their body.
Oh, wow.
And they died after they 20 or 25. So we have a family session, weekend family session for these families to support the families. So we had 25 girls with ill and more than 120 family members, the parents, the siblings. And I saw on Facebook today that one of the kids wrote, Ima, thank you for this vacation. All is because of our sister. And the mother said, I start crying because they blame their daughter that why we cannot go on a vacation, and all of a sudden we went on a vacation, and that was the first vacation we had in the past 14 years.
In the past 14 years?
Yes. In the past 14 years, there's families. We have different type of disease. We have diabetics, cancer, dialysis, epileptic seizures, hemophilia, autism, handicaps, etc. But there is some rare syndromes that, imagine, there's a family that told me 2 months ago, we have 3 kids in Israel in the same syndrome and 300 all over the world. So there is no hope because no one will research for 300 kids. It's sad to say that, but economic-wise, no one will invest money for research for 300 kids. So these parents have no hope.
Right.
And the only celebrating day that they have in the year, it's when they come to the Jordan River Village.
So people like that, such families would come every year?
Almost every year. We have 3 different sessions. We have a session of families, around 10 sessions a year,
right?
From Thursday to Sunday.
Right.
We have session for during the school time for special needs classes. They come for 3 or 4 days with their teachers.
The children.
The children come by themselves, right, without the parents. And we have session that we call it independent kids that don't need their parents from age of 9 till age of 18, that they come according to the special disease. For example, there is a week of just diabetic kids come. And this week we bring special nurses and special doctors that specialists, their expert is the diabetic
right,
disease, and they know how to give the shot. They teach the kids how to give the shot. As usual, we do it on Hanukkah. We can give the kids donuts in one side and the shot from the other side.
Oh, wow.
We see miracles on the village. For example, 2 months ago, we had a kid with epileptic disease.
Right.
He went to the climate wall, and all of a sudden he got a seizure on the climate wall, and on top on the climate wall. The paramedic went up and took him down, helped him to calm down, and he asked him, "Do you want to go back on the climate wall?"
Yeah.
So he said, "No, I'm sick." He told him, "No, you can beat the disease." He said, "Are you sure?" And went with him to the climate wall, and he starts screaming, "I beat the disease, I beat the disease." And that was for me,
what a highlight.
Such a highlight.
That's incredible. Shalom, you were mentioning your visit in the US to meet with supporters and donors, but you also met with the foundation. We mentioned before the Paul Newman Foundation that supports the American village. How does that work, the relationship between the Israeli village and right here in the US?
The Israeli village, the Jordan River village, is part of the international net called Serious Fund Children Network.
Okay.
There is around 11 camps in the United States. The first one and the famous one is the Hole in the Wall gang in Connecticut. But there is in Florida, in California, in upstate New York, in Ohio. And there is more camp in Dinamo, Italy. There is one in Israel, one in Ireland, and one in France. We have a session every month on via Zoom.
All of the camps?
All the camps, all the CEOs. And there is a session for the DOD, Director of Development. We get support from them medical-wise, rules-wise, law-wise, and we get some financial help from them from the Newman Foundation. But I'm here not just to meet them, I'm here also to raise money, because the kids that coming to the village doesn't pay any penny.
Nothing.
Even the richest person on earth will come to the village, he doesn't pay any penny. That's the policy of the village. And we believe that the village is a bridge between poor people and rich people, Orthodox people and not Orthodox people, religious and non-religious.
So in the village you have children of all creeds, colors, religions.
We have Muslims, Druze, Christian, Jews, Orthodox, ultra-Orthodox, Hasidish. Every child come. We had a funny story a couple of months ago. A family, we put together in a Shabbat table, a Muslim family with a Hasidish family, and we came to apologize.
Right.
And they said, "Why you apologize? We are in the dialysis department every week together. We are like a family. So here you want to separate us?" And that's the beauty of our village. No politics. No,
and you can see that connection in front of you.
Absolutely. I can see the connection. I can see how it influenced me, how it's influenced my staff. We said that the village is accessible not just for handicap. It's accessible for religious Jews. That's why it's kosher. It's accessible for people who want to pray. In each religion, if we have a session, we have a session of Muslims and they want to a room to pray for themselves. We'll provide them a room to daven for them, to pray for themselves. When we say accessible, we don't have session during the Jewish holidays, and also we don't have sessions during the Arab holidays, because it's accessible.
Right.
That's the meaning of 360 degrees accessible.
Right, access. You mentioned before the rock climbing or climbing the walls. What other activities do you have in the village that you allow those kids to interact with?
We have zip line for 500 feet length.
Wow.
With handicap. Kid with handicap can go on the
So it's all made accessible for those kids with those conditions?
All accessible. You can go to the climate wall with a handicap, with a wheelchair. We have a horse ride. We have petting zoo. Actually, we brought dogs and someone that work with the kids with the dogs. We have art and craft. We have swimming pool. We have sensors garden. We have outdoor gym, we have indoor gym, we have a party that to kick off, and farewell. So you're trying to make all of these activities as accessible as possible to kids who suffer from different conditions. Yes, for example, our swimming pool is full accessible without steps, without stairs. It's with a ramp going down the water. I will tell you, I asked my counselors if they want the swimming pool twice a week for activities. They said, no, we need it just for once a week because we have so many activities.
Wow.
And also, our staff is 20 people on my payroll, another 20 gap year that push the army in a year and they come to volunteer for 1 year.
So when they come to volunteer, what do you provide them?
They come to volunteer all year round. They stay, they as a group, they stay for the year and they work with the kids.
They reside in camp?
Yes. They have dorms on camp. We have, for every 2 kids, we have 1 counselor.
Right.
So we have 20 gap year, and on top of it, we have 20 volunteers that came from Mechinot, from pre-army yeshiva, pre-army seminar to volunteer. We have 1,200 volunteers a year.
Wow.
Volunteers that work with the kids, that work in the kitchen, that come for paramedics, doctors, nurses. I had some funny story a couple of months ago. When I just started, they asked me at Kibbutz Lavi Hotel if I can deliver a lecture about the village, to a presentation.
Right.
So I spoke about the village and I showed them the movie, and someone from the kibbutz hotel staff came up to me and said, Shalom, I want to volunteer. I asked him, what do you want to do? He said, I want to do a Moroccan china for the kids. So he came, and in the farewell party, they had a china for the kids, and the teachers start crying. They said, we couldn't imagine how funny is the kids. All of a sudden, we saw one child tell to his classmate, I didn't know that you are so nice. It was the first time he told him, you are so nice.
Right.
I become a friend with you.
Wow.
We make a friendship.
These experiences facilitate humanity.
Yes, we don't do just fun with the kids. One of our goals is to teach the kids that you are not a illness kid, you are a kid with the illness.
Right.
You're
Your disease, your illness, your handicap does not define who you are.
Your identity is Moshe,
Right.
Chaim, Shlomo, but you have a disease.
Right. A condition.
And you can beat the disease. Right. That's what we try to teach the kids.
And that the condition doesn't define who you are.
Yes.
I want to ask you something, Shalom. I'm thinking about the international aspect of it and having the different villages all around the world. And I'm just wondering, what makes this village Israeli? Like, how do you see the Israeli village compared to all of the other ones in the US and around the world?
It's a good question. We are the youngest village, but we are the busiest village in the network.
The busiest village.
All the villages have 8, 12, 10, 15 sessions a year. We have 40 sessions a year, almost every week. That's one thing. Other thing.
So do the CEOs tell you make them look bad?
No. It's not a competition.
It's a competition for the good.
Everyone doing his best.
Right.
And that's something I didn't start. Someone else started before me, so
Right.
I don't take the credit.
But this is a great way to say Israel is setting by example.
Also, there is something that's unique to our camp, that each camp in the network work with 4 or 5 different diseases.
Right.
We work with 25 different diseases, and every year we try to bring a new disease to the table to check it with our medical advisors. And if they agree to take the risk, so we try it for one session. If it's good, we repeat it again and again.
So that's this is your autonomy. You can decide what kind of population you're going to work with.
Yes, absolutely. It's from network-wise, but the doctors tell me what to do. I don't take any responsibility.
For sure. But with the network, I'm saying, if you have the vision,
from the network,
you check it with the medical advisors, and then you can take it a step forward.
Something good about the network, that they give you the freedom to act. For example, during COVID, we realized that the kids cannot come from the hospital. So we said, if they cannot come from the hospital, we'll take the village to the hospital. And we call it Village on Wheels.
Wow.
So we reach out to the different hospital. For now, we have two counselors in each hospital, in 2 hospitals in the north, in Bet Cholim Rambam and Bet Cholim Carmel. And we have in Schneider.
Do you still maintain that Village on Wheels scheme?
Yes. We develop it more and more. We hired a lady, brilliant one, to manage this program. And she helped us to recruit kids to the village from the different department. But also they celebrating the life for kids. Listen, the mission of the village is to celebrate the life for kids. It doesn't have to be on the village. It can be online. It can be outside of the village. It can be on the village with kids with special need. With the kids. Sometimes you come to the village and you see regular kids that diabetics. They look regular. They don't look ill.
Right.
But they cannot go to any summer camp and any camp because of their disease.
Because of their condition. Shalom, just before our time is about to run out, I have to ask you. It's wonderful to hear about Israel leading by example. It's definitely visible that you personally are leading by example. how do people get in touch with you, with the village? And if any of our viewers gets to Israel, will they have a chance if they want to visit the village and get a first-hand impression of the great work that you do?
First, I invite everyone to go to jrv.org.il, to go online, to go look for Jordan River Village, and to see the miracle firsthand, to get impressed firsthand. Everyone who wants to come to visit can leave a message on our website, and we'll contact him back. People who want to donate money, and I hope there is a lot that want to donate money to the village, can do it through American Friends of Jordan River Village. We have a 501c3, tax deductible. They can go online at AFJRV. And I want to ask everyone to spread the word and to tell that there is a small diamond in the state of Israel, up north in the state of Israel.
That's even, you whispered to me right before we started, is ready to be used as a field hospital in case of an emergency in Israel.
Yes, we, in a special event like earthquake or something,
God forbid, yeah.
God forbid, the hospitals cannot take care of all the people that will get hurt. So we working with the IDF to open an emergency field hospital that will be on top of the medical center, will enjoy all the equipment of the medical center that we have. And that way we're going to help to the state of Israel. Last week when we had the missiles on the south,
right.
they called us from the south if they can come to bring kids with special needs to the camp, but we had a session, we couldn't have them.
Right.
But if the village is empty, and it happens sometimes, we welcome. Yes, we will make it available.
Terrific, Shalom. Thank you so much for your incredible words, and truly for the heart of a man that you are.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Shalom, again, this incredible display of humanity that showcases Israel in its entirety as a heart with a nation. You are a great inspiration, and I appreciate the work that you do for those children and the village. And to all of you, our viewers, if you'd like to learn more about this beautiful place in Israel, visit afjrv.org. That is afjrv.org. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and see you next time as we cast another fascinating and inspirational eye on Israel. Shalom and lehitraot.